best ever. Knock him out with one punch like that. You'd be like, oh man, have you seen this Jake Paul dude coming up? He's for real. Because nothing about watching him fight, to me, screams like he's in over his head. Nothing. He looks like a real boxer.
It's insane. It's dangerously insane. Is right.
Tyson, but where does that leave his physique? Alright, so I'm looking at Jake Paul's physique. He's a bit of a beefcake. He's actually pretty muscular. He's got solid legs. He's got those white boy farmer genetics. Speaking of farmers, he's got a little bit of gyno, and I want to milk him like a cow. Solid chest, traps, shoulders are decent, arms are also decent. His lat width and thickness is lacking, and it looks like he's suffering from the Rock syndrome, because no matter how lean this dude gets, there's never an ab in.
We got an inside look at Jake Paul's training, at least a portion of it, and it tells a story for, again, his approach to this fight and why I think it's the right one, but it's not going to be enough. And it also leaves out the key factor, I think the biggest flaw, the biggest weakness that Jake Paul has going up against Anthony Joshua. Because let's be honest, Jake should not stand much of a chance here. Also,
gonna get interesting.
You got 3 grown men sitting here talking about some bloody YouTuber fighting a gold medalist.
yeah.
And 2-time heavyweight champion of the world.
And I mean, I forget that the 2-time, I'm like, 2 grown men. I mean, like, can you believe this?
I'm not fully grown yet.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm sitting here debating about a guy who got famous by playing YouTube. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Put it this way.
That's the date. That's how it's going to go. I'm showing up, putting in the work, but I'm telling you now, I'm taking that L. We'll see what happens after. But
in his eyes, he looked like he was telling the truth. It was genuine, not like Jake. When Jake's asked about roids, and plus Jake's head grew as much as mine did after roids.
I'm not hooked up to the lie detector.
Well, fucking hook his ass up.
Okay. Are you on PEDs?
What do you mean by that?
Are you on performance-enhancing drugs?
If taking Viagra counts, then yes.
Boxing Pro's reaction to Jake Paul's bulked-up physique for Anthony Joshua fight is stunning. Even with Jake Paul trying to bulk up and look more like a heavyweight, most in the fight game aren't buying it. A bunch of pros see him adding size, but they still think he's nowhere near Anthony Joshua's level. Skill, power, and experience still favor Joshua big time. And that's why many believe Paul's chances are tiny despite his new look.
And as for this week, Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, you can take a look right now and trade either an 86% probability that Anthony Joshua wins, which I think is even a low probability, compared to what I think is actually possible. Jake has a 16% chance on Kalshi, where, again, I think it's more like a 5%.
Anthony Joshua makes it clear he's not underestimating Jake Paul's bulked-up version. He's looking at Paul's strengths, not weaknesses, and admitting he's ready for the best Paul can bring. That confidence, laser-focused on December 19th, shows Joshua is mentally locked in and unfazed by Paul's new physique.
I don't really look for anyone's weaknesses. I'm just looking at his strengths. He's good, and I'm fighting Jake Paul that's going to be the best version of Jake Paul. Interestingly, there has been opportunities to pass this fight. Right now, my main focus is on Jake Paul, and I've hung up the phone respectfully. But for me and my team, blinkers on, and we're focused on our target for December.
Jake Paul keeps talking about it being already written and about mindset and belief. But boxing does not work like that at the highest level. You can manifest all you want, but when real punches land, belief gets tested. Against Anthony Joshua, talk will not save you once the bell rings.
Go into detail, brother.
That doesn't cross my mind.
It's already written.
I don't think he's literally telling you and rubbing it in your faces that it's scripted. I think he's just showing you that mindset he has of manifesting the win, of believing what you can achieve, and therefore it coming true. So I didn't really read a whole lot into anything that Jake Paul said in that face-off in terms of convincing me one way or the other.
Moses gives Jake Paul some respect for how far he has come, but even he draws a clear line. Decent is not enough at this level. An Olympic gold medalist and 2-time heavyweight champion is a different world. Against Anthony Joshua, that gap in class becomes impossible to hide.
Anybody's expecting anything from Jake Paul. Like, he's fighting an Olympic gold medalist, 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. But this YouTuber, like, do you know what? You got to take your hat off to Jake Paul. He's done amazing. He's done very well. And even me, I don't think he's a bad boxer. You know, I actually think he's a decent boxer, but you're not on the caliber of obviously.
Johnny Nelson is brutally honest and says what most of the boxing world is thinking. He makes it clear that almost nobody truly believes Jake Paul can win this fight. The hype exists but the belief does not. People are tuning in because they expect Anthony Joshua to do what elite heavyweights do to overmatched opponents. This is not about curiosity anymore, but about witnessing reality catch up. Nelson's words reflect the gap in class, experience, and danger that separates a real heavyweight champion from a social media star stepping too far.
So you're going to watch this to see, most people watch this to see Jake Paul get his arse given to him.
Eddie Hearn removes all doubt about how seriously this is being taken. Anthony Joshua is preparing as if this is a world title fight, not a novelty event. There is no playing around, no carrying anyone, and no entertainment rounds planned. The message is clear and simple. Joshua is coming to end the night early. That kind of focus shows respect for the danger of boxing and also confidence in his own ability to deliver damage when the opening appears.
Come out and try and knock him out, clean out, cold.
I think AJ is just completely focused on the fight, like it was a world championship fight, like it was a world championship contender.
We couldn't be taking it more seriously. Is there a script? Yeah, there is a script. We come out and try and knock him out, clean out, cold, as soon.
Duke McKenzie speaks from experience and his concern is not hype but safety. He knows what happens when a serious heavyweight punch lands clean. Anthony Joshua does not throw arm punches. He throws fight-ending shots. McKenzie admits the danger openly and that says a lot. This fight makes money, but it also carries real risk. When a former champion connects properly, the consequences are not promotional. They are physical and lasting. And that reality hangs over this matchup.
With Jake Paul on a serious level and catches Jake Paul with a serious punch, he will do far more damage than that. So from a health and safety perspective, I hope the fight doesn't happen, but from a commercial perspective, the fight has to happen because this fight generates money.
Derek Chisora brushes this off as spectacle rather than sport. And that reaction is telling. Fighters who have lived real heavyweight wars see the difference instantly. To them, this is entertainment built for clicks, not competition built on merit. Chisora's tone shows disbelief more than anger. For veterans of the division, Anthony Joshua represents the top level. And anything below that feels like a different world entirely, no matter how much noise surrounds it.
Only kids will pay to watch that, and parents will give their kids money to go watch that. Great for them, but really and truly, I don't know, man. It's not for me. It's not my cup of tea. Let the legend.
Joseph Parker keeps it simple and that simplicity makes it powerful. He knows firsthand what heavyweight power feels like and he knows Anthony Joshua carries fight-ending force. One clean shot changes everything. There is no recovery plan, no mindset trick, and no bulked-up physique that saves you from that. Parker's words underline the real danger here. When Joshua lands, the fight does not continue. And that is the reality Jake Paul must face.
You're out. And I picked.
Tyson Fury is saying that even on the worst night of his career, Anthony Joshua would still defeat Jake Paul. He exaggerates injuries and poor conditions to emphasize the huge gap between Joshua and Paul. This is not about size, bulk, or confidence. It is about real skill, timing, power, and experience at the top level of heavyweight boxing. Fury's words underline that Jake Paul's physical improvements cannot compensate for the lack of elite experience. Anthony Joshua's fundamentals and championship-level experience make him almost untouchable. This is a fight where the outcome is determined by levels, not hype.
He could probably turn up with broken ribs, a broken left hand, 2 left feet, he's closed on back to front, and with the flu, and then still beat Jake Paul.
Anthony Joshua is saying that his sole focus is to do his job inside the ring. He emphasizes that in boxing there are no second chances or extra time, showing a level of discipline that is unmatched. Joshua is not distracted by Jake Paul's new bulked-up physique or hype surrounding the fight. His focus is on execution, on applying his skills efficiently, and on finishing the job without errors. This mindset reflects the professionalism of a world champion. Joshua's mental preparation indicates he will approach December 19th with precision and control, not showmanship, making him extremely dangerous for any opponent.
In my mind right now, and there's no extra time in boxing. Yeah, so yes, I have to do my job. And
Joe Rogan is pointing out that this fight is dangerous because Anthony Joshua is likely to make an example of Jake Paul. He highlights Joshua's one-punch knockout power and reminds everyone what Joshua has done to previous opponents. The implication is clear. Jake Paul is stepping into a real heavyweight fight, not a controlled exhibition. One clean shot from Joshua can end the fight immediately. Rogan frames the situation as a test of courage, implicitly questioning whether Paul is ready for that level of danger. Joshua's punching power changes the fight entirely and makes Paul's bulked-up physique almost irrelevant.
Yeah. Because Joshua's going to try to make an example out of him, for sure.
And will.
I mean, Anthony Joshua is one of the biggest one-punch KO artists. What he did to Francis Ngannou, good.
Johnny Nelson is suggesting that Jake Paul may be cashing out before he faces the full force of a true heavyweight. He notes that the big paydays have been against lesser fighters whose skill levels are far below a world champion. Nelson implies that this fight against Anthony Joshua might be the final gamble for Paul before reality catches up. Facing Joshua is not about glory or entertainment. It is about survival and true competitive risk. Nelson believes the outcome is obvious. Joshua's experience, skill, and power make it almost certain that Paul will be overwhelmed. This fight represents a line between entertainment boxing and real heavyweight competition.
Jake Paul himself might be cashing out because the big purses that he's pulling, fighting.
Johnny Nelson is saying that Anthony Joshua should not even allow Jake Paul to make it through a full round.
This might be his last fight, getting in there with Anthony Joshua and getting knocked out.
As the build-up intensifies for December 19th, everything points to Anthony Joshua asserting his dominance in the ring. Jake Paul's bulked-up physique may look impressive on social media, but when measured against Joshua's experience, skill, and raw power, it is clear that the British heavyweight operates on a completely different level. Every expert from Johnny Nelson to Tyson Fury highlights the vast gap in timing, technique, and ring IQ. Joshua's focus, discipline, and knockout ability make him a lethal opponent who can end the fight decisively at any moment. Jake Paul's confidence and mindset cannot replace years of elite competition and championship experience. This fight will test not just physical strength, but mental fortitude and preparation. And all signs indicate Joshua is more than ready. Are you backing Anthony Joshua to dominate December 19th? Or do you think Jake Paul can pull off a shock upset? Drop your thoughts below and join the debate.